So,
welcome to the Murali End. My name's Mark Machado. I'm joined by my cousin Dominic Machado. This is our reaction to what was quite a phenomenal performance to steal a win from the jaws of defeat in the final over. This show is brought to you by Kidrated. If you have children, or if you just want to know what it's like to go to some of the tourist attractions, the kiddies things to do in London, check out kidrated.com. It's all the attractions rated by actual children who go there. Have a look at that. They've got plans to spread across the world quite soon as well, so they might be coming to a city where you are. Dominic, let's get straight into it though. Going into that final over, I just thought, what a disaster. I was explaining to my Australian wife how it's weird to me that 4 times 10 does not equal 50, but no one else had kind of figured that one out. And then, of course, like on so many good moments of Sri Lankan cricket over the years, a kind of miracle descends upon the pitch. And Dilshan Madishankar, who haven't seen in months and months and months, playing for the first time in absolutely ages, gets a hat trick. What were your feelings? What were your thoughts as that was happening?
Oh my gosh, I was just so downtrodden. Just seeing them lose the match from such a position of strength was incredibly frustrating. And the worst thing about cricket is it's never over quickly. So it's like, okay, we see this, the train's coming, and there's nothing we can do to get out of the way. And then Madishankar produces this moment of brilliance, or several moments of brilliance, and your heart started pounding after that first wicket. I think, okay, all right, Brad Evans can still hit the ball. What's going to happen here? You know, this is okay. We're still in with a fighting chance. And then takes the next wicket, and you know, the heart is beating. It was all action, everything you wanted to see or hear, and you know, great to watch. I mean, I don't know if it was a great game for Sri Lanka, but it was a great ending for us as fans to watch, to give us a little positive energy. And I think hopefully they'll take this as a positive, and they'll say, okay, look, we were about to lose that match and get absolutely crushed by this team we expected to beat, but we were able to pull it out. So hopefully that gives them some modicum of confidence going forward.
Guys, if you're watching or listening, guys and girls, and anyone else who might be interacting with us today, we'd love to get your thoughts. Leave us the comments on the sides. We'll also open up the studio as well. I'm going to put the link in. If you want to come and join us and tell us what you thought of this game, then let us know. It's kind of, you know, these shows often act as kind of group therapy. We've been through a lot in the last few hours. Together. I've been up at the crack of dawn watching Pathirana Shankar bat and thinking, oh, this is all right. This is going to be, you know, Asita starts off the first ball's a wicket, so you think that's all right. We're going to do okay here, and then it all starts to fall apart. We let them back in. I mean, like I'm one of the few, me and Dom, I assume, I don't know, are one of the few Machados who aren't on statins. But I think if we keep watching Sri Lankan cricket, then we're going to have to get on them quite sharpishly.
The cardiovascular health is definitely taking a hit after that.
Yeah.
And now I'm drinking a coffee, of course, to just pump more adrenaline into my system, because that's what's needed. You know, it was interesting. I want to talk a little bit about the selection, right? So that was the first surprise, right? Waking up and seeing, wait, what exactly is going on? So they give Nishan Madushka another chance at the top, which I think is fine. Young player, worth investing in him. And then this number 4 position that we've been talking about endlessly, they've just brought in, you know, Pavven Ratnaik and Nuwanidu Fernando. And we're thinking, okay, of course, these guys are going to come in and play at 4. Why else are they being brought? And it's Sadeera who gets the shout at number 4. So that was another surprise. And then, you know, we're going down, okay, Charith at 5, Jonathan at 6. And then number 7 is Kamindu Mendes. And then you've got Deekshana, Madishankar, Chamira, and Asita. And you look at it and you're like, wait, that's only 4 bowlers, and like, are we talking about? We're not even talking about part-time bowlers at this point. We're talking about like bits and pieces bowlers. So we're expecting to get 10 overs from some combination of Jonathan Lianage, Kamindu Mendes and Chara Thessalanka. And mind you, this is not the Premadasa where, okay, maybe Charath and Kamindu are going to have some value, but we're playing in Harare. So that to me was the first thing that shocked me, was seeing this was the 11 that was played. And I don't know if you had that same feeling, Mark.
Yeah, to be honest, right, me and you are both in the same time zone at the moment. So the game started at kind of 3:30 in the morning for me.
Yep.
So it took me a little bit. I was up. Well, the TV was on. I don't know whether I can really say I was up. The body was in front of it, but I'm not sure. It took me a moment. It took me kind of towards the end of our batting to figure out, all right, we might have a problem here.
Yeah.
If we're not able to get wickets very quickly. I think there's the thing that comes to mind, right, is essentially in 1996, when obviously the greatest sporting event of all time happened and Sri Lanka beat the baddies, the Australians in the final to win the World Cup. We won it with a lot of part-time bowlers, right? And the way off ODI cricket for Sri Lanka was part-time bowlers. I think though in 2025, the world's moved on. You can't have, batters are much better than they've ever been. Finding the boundary is much easier than it's ever been. There's loads of different reasons we don't need to get into for that. But because of that, part-timers just ain't going to kick it at this level anymore. I want to bring up a comment here, which I think is slightly unfair, but worth talking about. Liloma said, all this just to beat Zim without Craig Erwin. Don't even know what to feel about this win. I kind of get that, right? Because we feel we're an established cricket nation. We've we've seen our team fire into the stars. We've had a couple of laps around the stars. We're kind of been on the the eternal rebuild since 2025. Yeah. We feel like we should be beating teams like Zimbabwe. I think though that actually there's two things. A win's a win. It kind of doesn't matter. These are professional sports men that we're playing against. Also, I think actually playing Zimbabwe in Zimbabwe is a bit of a challenge for our lads. If you look at that team selection, I totally imbalanced. I mean, 4 times 10 is not 50, right? Our part-time bowlers are the people you bring in when you think you need to buy a wicket at some point, right? Kamindu went for 11.
Yeah. So Mark, I was looking at this, and so the 10 overs from the fifth bowler went for 80 runs and a wicket. Like that is just not going to win you games because, and one thing that stood out to me actually is that our pace bowlers were the point of difference here. Yeah. Right. Because we've played on these pitches that are turning, and we've come to rely on spinners. But who saved the day? It was Asita and Dilshan Madhushanka, and I thought Shamir bowled really well as well. He didn't get a wicket, but he bowled really well. So they were the wicket takers. They were the people applying pressure. And this is kind of an object lesson. If you can't apply the strategies you use at home in a place like Zimbabwe, we saw how Ngarava and Muzrabani bowled, and we don't have guys that are physically like that, right? They were able to extract bounce, bowled nice tight lines, and they used the conditions. They played 4 seamers, right? They used the conditions really well. And to go back to your point, Mark, about how ODI cricket was played in the 90s with these part-time bowlers. I mean, Aravinda and Sanath both had Sanath had over 300 ODI wickets, and Aravinda had over 100. So it's not like, these are not, as you said, guys who you want to come in for an over or two. Like, where is Chamika Karunaratne? You can imagine he would have been quite useful in a tour like this. Dunith Walalage, okay, even say you want to have a spinner there, right? Where is he in this squad? And I think a lot of these players have to be scratching their heads and thinking, what exactly is my role in this team? And how do we play in places all over the world? I'm trying to think. I think we played in New Zealand, but apart from playing in New Zealand, we haven't played much overseas ODI cricket.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next ODI World Cup is in South Africa as well, right? So it's going to be very similar type conditions to this. That's why I thought, when I was watching it, I was like, we need to learn. I'd much rather learn these lessons about weird selections today than I will be doing, in that first game, if and when that World Cup kicks off. There's some questions coming in about how we feel about Asia Cup squads and stuff like that. We'll talk about that eventually. I still think there's a lot to get into the game. Should we talk a little bit about the batting?
Yeah.
Because everyone kind of made starts early on. I thought it was quite good, apart from one person had a particularly bad day, and it was the person that we were all hoping that it wouldn't happen to, because I felt with poor old Nuwanidu didn't make a single run, which means it immediately feels like there's a lot more pressure on his position next time round, right?
Yeah. Madushka didn't, and we're already seeing this from Niz, who says, sorry, need to get Pavven in for Madushka. SL selectors are too conservative, too much emphasis on seniority and experience compared to raw talent. I think this is really an interesting question. Of course, Madushka is a young player. He's shown himself to be a talented player. He had a rough go of it. I mean, to be honest, Zimbabwe bowled well. It's going to happen sometimes. And I thought one bit of praise that I do have, I think that Kusal and Patham arrested the slide and made sure that it didn't get out of hand early. Maybe they could have scored a bit earlier, but it was a bit of a tough pitch to deal with. And so that was interesting. What did you make of Sadeera's innings? Sadeera's little cameo at 4, because Dineth has a point here that I think is worth reading out.
So Dineth's point is, I'm fascinated that Sadeera was selected over Nuwanidu. Not going to lie, Nuwanidu's been put in the work recently. I mean, for me, Sadeera, I think he's kind of difficult to drop at this point, because I still think we're in a part of the cycle where actually scoring, I think he averages about 35, which is almost exactly what he got today, maybe slightly higher actually, is kind of generally a kind of average good innings. So I don't think you can really turn around to Sadeera and say, oh, I'm sorry, you're not doing it for us. I also think the kind of flip side of it is he doesn't make the big scores, right?
But this is the thing. They brought it. Sadeera wasn't playing at 4. It was Kamindu who was playing at 4 previously. So they brought in Sadeera. So that to me is the thing that I don't understand. Is like, if Sadeera was in the squad, I totally buy your logic. He was playing at 4.
Yeah.
But why are you bringing Nuwanidu in? Why are you bringing Pavven in? And kind of saying, okay, here you are. Yeah, great. Be around the squad. But as you said, where we are in the cycle, why not give them a chance? Right? We do know what Sadeera gives us, which is 35 runs, looks good, great fielder, can't set that aside. But Nuwanidu and Pavven, we do not know what they give us. Why not?
So I think the one thing, guys, thanks for coming in backstage. We'll get you all on very shortly. We'll just finish this little chat and then we'll come to you guys. I know there's a couple of people waiting behind backstage. I'm excited to get you guys on. I think I'm gonna before we open it up to other people, Dom, right? Because I think people are sick of hearing from me. I think it's surprising that at ODIs we want to tear up the one thing that's been working for us really long, which is our opening partnership, and we want to try and mix that up. I for me, just because Kusal can bat further down the order doesn't mean that we should do it. I think we learned something today, read the batting, about what Lianage and Kamindu can do finishing an innings, and I think that's something I'd like to kind of see us lean into a little bit. We know obviously Charth Lanka is definitely going to play, and we know where he's going to bat, where he's consistent. So it's those other two spots, right?
The other opener, and
or in my view, Kusal Mendes should be opening. So in
ODIs as well.
Yeah, in ODIs as well. That's a partnership that's working for us. Why are we tearing that up?
Well, he's also been great at 3. That's the other thing is, and like eventually you get the partnership between Mendes and Nissanka there. This is an interesting shout from Savina. Yeah. Give the opening spot to Kamil Mishar. He's aggressive, also a left-hander in the top order, which gives variety to the batting order. I think SLC likes him a lot. He's in the Asia Cup squad. What position he's going to play in that squad, I don't know. But I think that's a really interesting option in the long term. But I think it's time for us to bring in some
I I need to make sure that everyone can see us because I've taken us off stage.
You've taken us off stage.
Off stage. We are still there. Don't go.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's just a few teething issues. Right, I'm going to bring on Mr. M first. I don't know where you're calling from, or what you're going to say. Then we'll come to Muditha. If you've got something to say, jump in backstage and come and join us. We'd love to hear what you guys have got to say, guys and girls, of course. And also, just once you're finished, once I take you off stage, just hang about for a couple of minutes so we can upload your video as well. Thank you. Right, Mr. M, you might need to turn your camera on and come off mute potentially as well. That might help. Is he there? Is he listening?
Sorry, my camera can't be turned on.
That's fine. That's fine. Where you calling from?
From India.
Oh, wicked. Whereabouts in India?
Mumbai.
Oh, lovely. Okay. Lovely. Right. What do you think of today's performance and what should happen or not happen?
I personally feel that we clearly lack the fifth bowling option, as Sri Lanka has considered a lot of runs. If you see the amount of runs conceded by Lianage and the two bowlers, Kamindu and Asalanka, that could have been a difference. Plus the drop catch. I thought, I thought that it could be the biggest difference, but then Dilshan Madhushanka made a difference. I personally felt that Sikandar Raza played admirably well, awesome, and he single-handedly won the game for Zimbabwe.
Or could have won the game for Zimbabwe. That drop catch, right? The thing is, Sri Lankan cricket is made up of kind of almost mythological moments, right? Moments of legend that defy all laws of physics or momentum or gravity or whatever. I suppose that's all types of physics. Today, we saw one of those moments in that final over. And I just wonder if that catch wasn't dropped, we might not have got that hat-trick because it might have finished slightly earlier. But I think all the points that you're making, Mr. M, are very valid. As I don't know why you support Sri Lanka, and I'm glad you found us, and I'm glad you found the right way to enlightenment by coming on board the Sri Lanka train. But I just wanted to get your thoughts quickly as somebody who lives in India, so he's obviously very exposed to Team India. What you think Sri Lanka's chances are at the Asia Cup and then the World Cup next year?
Thanks for asking. I personally feel that Sri Lanka has a good squad. They can be the dark horses for the tournament. But if you compare it with India, I think Sri Lanka is lacking a lot in all departments. They need a finisher who can finish the games, power hitter. As we have Hardik Pandya. A lot of options do we have, plus an all-rounder who can do both batting, bowling really well. As we have Hardik Pandya who can offer us 4 overs plus a good batsman, and I think Sri Lanka lacks that. But they're definitely a very talented side. You can't rate them. At any given day, they can spring a surprise.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you on a lot of that. I think if Sri Lanka are to go deep, 2 or 3 of our players need to basically fire up for the tournament, right? We can
name them too, right?
Yeah,
we can name them. It has to be Kusal Mendes and Pathum Nissanka have to go nuts.
Yeah.
And then basically you need to have Hasaranga have the tournament of his life.
Yeah.
And I think he's the all-rounder, that he's the Hardik Pandya.
Look, there is another one as well. I think Weller, if he gets into the side, if they give him a run at it, and he said, like,
what does he have to do to get into the side? That's the thing. What does he have
Sri Lankan cricket, Dom, absolutely anything is possible, right? If someone told me that Sri Lanka are going to win the tournament and Shamri Atapati is going to be the highest scorer in the men's T20 tournament, I'd be like, yeah, I can totally see that happening. She's going to win the women's tournament, and then they're going to pick her for the men's team
for us in T20s. That wouldn't be a bad shout.
In Sri
Anyways,
Lanka, we'll turn up to a 50 over game with only 4 bowlers. Don't worry, it's fine. Right, Mr. M, thank you for joining us today. I'm going to take you off screen, but if you could just hang about for a minute or two so we can get your video, and I'll bring Muditha onto the screen. Muditha, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Whereabouts are you joining us from?
Kansas in the United States. So
yeah, Manhattan, Kansas, right?
Oh no, Lawrence.
Okay. I always get confused between Kansas State and UK. So
yeah, I had an early watch too at 2:30 in the morning. I was half asleep for the first.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But one thing we can do to kind of fix the 5th bowler situation, and I know it's probably not going to work how Sri Lanka cricket makes decisions, but we can talk about it. But since I think Nishan Madushka kind of got hurt towards the end of the game with his shoulder, I hope they explore the idea of pushing Kushal Mendes to open with Pathum for ODIs and then bring in that 5th bowler, maybe Dunit Velalage, but I also see them bringing in Milan Ratnayaka to be the 5th bowler as well.
Yeah, it's interesting because for me, Milan solves a lot of issues, right? Because we've seen what he could do with the bat. Of all the players who bowl seam for Sri Lanka, he's definitely the best batter we've got.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I can't think of any other.
You don't think Shanaka or Karuna or Chamaka are better?
I see those players as basically being batters who can bowl a bit, right? Where Milan is a bowler who can bat, right? So on the scale, he's more for bowling option than a batting option. We've also seen him score difficult runs he scored in South Africa, or he hung about a bit in South Africa, and he scored runs in England. Obviously, they're test matches, so it's slightly different. But I mean, he could hold that end up while Kamindu or Janeth or Charath is at the other side. So I think he brings a bit more balance into the side. I'm just really surprised how much. If you don't need to go back that far to a time when Charath Asalanka was barely ever bowling. And now we're coming to the game with a plan being that he's going to bowl kind of at least 3 overs. So you're like, it's absolutely nuts to me how quickly that has changed.
And to be fair, right? Like, this is kind of a ridiculous thing. Like, the plan was in the middle overs when that partnership between Karan and Williams was going on, was we're bringing on Kamindu Mendes to get the breakthrough. That cannot be the plan. Like, that's just not like a good idea. That's just not, you're not preparing to win. Regarding your idea, Muditha, with Kusal opening, I think the question is then, what would you bring in Nuwanidu to bat at 3?
I would say Bum Kamindu.
Kamindu. Okay. What do you think about Kamindu as finisher is the wrong word because he's not really a finisher. But he does the job like pretty well for, like, unless you have Dawson or Chamaka in our side, we don't have guys who can do that, right?
I think well, if Wanindu is fit, he's playing today. So I think he should take the responsibility as the finisher. I mean, he's done it before. He's done it in all the franchise leagues. So I mean, it's time he does it for the national team as well. And that would give like the team space to bump Kamindu up and you know, have that cushion. But for this story, even without having Shanaka and Chamika not in the squad for the ODIs, I think maybe bringing Nuwanidu out for that number 3 spot, but then you got to take a batter out as well. Yeah, and then we won't have the option to put in the 5th bowler.
I mean, I think Lianage would be the guy who would be the odd man out there, right? I think that's also a crazy idea that you're expecting him to bowl like 3 overs of pace. That's just crazy. And like, it was maybe the 30th over where they brought him on and they're like, all right, game's super tight. Now go in and check on 3 overs.
And I mean, in pitches in Zimbabwe, his pace might work, but if we head to South Africa, or even he's not on the T20 squad, but if you try that in the Asia Cup, he's all around the park by then.
Exactly. That's not.
Can I just want to bring one comment up from Savina that says Kamindu plays the role of Russell Arnold, the Russell Arnold role in the team. I want to talk about Kamindu for a minute because I kind of feel like if you look at his trajectory as a player, the first thing anyone ever finds out when he's about 12 years old and he goes viral, what felt like 2 minutes ago, but actually was about a decade ago, is that he can bowl with both hands, right? We've seen him kind of break into the team, then kind of. Do you remember he used to be the 12th man for like years, and it felt like years and years and years. I kind of felt like maybe his time had gone. Maybe they want him just as almost like a professional fielder. But now he's come back into the side, and he's kind of grabbed it with both his ambidextrous hands, and he hasn't let it go. We've seen him play IPL. We've seen him score runs in Test cricket. We've seen him be effective in the IPL as well. I just think he's got the. When we spoke to Russell Arnold earlier. Was that last week or this week? Whenever we spoke to him, Russell talked a lot about this week. He talked a lot about that mentality that is needed for the top players. I think with Kamindu, it's so clear that he's got that mentality, right? He wants to take an opportunity. I feel like you can kind of shunt him anywhere you want, and he'll kind of adapt to it. That's why I think the thing we are struggling with as a cricket nation is these finishers in T20 cricket and even in ODI. I wonder if actually it's worth somebody at SLC going, Kamindu, you're our guy. We don't have a natural guy to do this. Learn how to power hit. We are with you. You're going to bat at. We want you to be the ideally batting in the over 16 to 20 in T20 cricket and the last 15 overs coming in ODI cricket. Figure that out. Suss that out. We have got you with it. We think you can do it. So solve our problem, because I just think he's got the mentality to do it. I could be wrong. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Muditha, why don't you step in? I have thoughts on this.
I think him having the most international exposure, it should be him. I mean, the more IPL he plays, I think he'll get better at it as well. The more he'll learn, and with him being that floater, that gives him more freedom to do that. I think if we had like a set batter, if we told Lanka or even Kushal Mendes to do the same thing, that's not going to work. Because I think their spots are pretty fixed, and moving them is not going to really help them out. I think with Kamindu and maybe Johnny Tlianage, I think those are two people that we can experiment that and tell them, hey, just go.
Yeah.
If you get out, you get out. But if you score 30, 40 quick runs, 30, 40 quick runs on the board.
Yeah. I think the problem is that we expect too much of these guys at 6. We expect them to anchor the innings when inevitably these things fall apart, right? And then we expect them to provide the flourish. And it's really hard for players to do both, right? It's really, really hard to play. The problem with Kamindu is I think he's kind of in a position like Kushal Mendes was in a few years ago, where he is so talented. He can bat at 3. He can bat at 4. He might be able to bat at 6. He can play as an all-rounder, right? And that, I think this is to your point, Mark, the lack of role clarity is really harmful for a player that's that skilled. I think whatever it is we're going to ask him to do, we should ask him to do it and give him a defined role, because given how much talent he has, we absolutely need to continue investing in him. We know he's going to come good. It's just a matter of us I think one of the things we saw today is the brain center is getting in the way of our team playing well. Okay, whoever's making the decisions is getting in the way of our team playing well. It's not that they don't have the talent, but the decisions being made is making it hard, right? Because what would we have said if they lost that game? There's no 5th bowler. We can't expect those guys to bowl. You've got that is a decision that's made before the game. It's not, the guys were just playing horrible shots or bowling poorly. You can't turn up and expect those guys to do it. So that's really frustrating.
Sometimes I think that part of the issue is that we feel that Sri Lanka only have great cricketing teams and great cricketing moments when we do something outside of regular orthodoxy, right? Be it come up with pinches in the top of the order, or a Lasses Malinga pops out of nowhere kind of thing. And sometimes I feel like we're trying to force it too much, almost, right? And it's like, right, we're gonna turn up with 4 bowlers and then see how that works. And you're like, oh, maybe that's a bit too kind of forcing the change, and actually the innovation doesn't come from things on the pitch. The innovation comes from the fact that in Sri Lanka we just love cricket so much that we're going to create these kind of freak cricketers every now and again. I think there's about 2 or 3 players in our squad you can say are kind of freak cricketers at this moment in time, right? And it's leaning into those players to get the most out of the side. I don't think it's necessarily something you can sit around the table and go, right, this is what we're going to do. It doesn't. Every series doesn't need to feel like a new episode of Ted Lasso where they've reinvented football, right? So, go on.
I think the other problem is we've always had a solid number 6 in the past. I think we're just lacking that problem, and that's we keep searching them in players that. We're just trying to fit anyone at number 6 because we need a number 6. Because we had Tisserpera at one point, Angelo at one point, Hasaranga, Rasalano, Dilshan played at 6. We always had a solid number 6, but now it's just like, well, we got 5 batters. We're just going to shuffle the order around, and whoever falls on 6 plays number 6. And it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. Savina makes a good, interesting point about bumping Charith up to 4. Which I think is an interesting thought, but then it just raises the question of what's going on with Nuwanidu and Pavven Ratnayaka in the squad. So it's tough. I think the other thing that this makes us realize, and I say this again and again, we critique Hasaranga, we say he hasn't done X, Y, and Z, but he is hugely important to this squad's makeup. Like he provides finishing, he provides bowling, he provides say what you want about him, but he is absolutely indispensable. When he comes out of that lineup, everything is off.
I'll just read Teaching of Praveen's comments. Charith made it clear that SO will be going with 3 all-rounders and 4 bowlers. If Wanindu is available, do you think he plays as an all-rounder or as a bowler, like say was available for today's game? It's weird because if he comes in, there's just instant balance in the side, right? Because you kind of feel it doesn't matter. I think for me, Wani, you kind of have to approach him almost as Wani the bowler, Wani the batter. The bowler hasn't let anyone down, right? The batter is what people are frustrated with at the moment. And in terms of you go with the team like we had today, and you put Wani in it, then it feels like you've got 50 overs, right? That's I thought what the problem is. Muditha, thank you for joining us today. I've got two questions. What's the Sri Lankan food situation like, Dan, your way in Kansas?
Oh, absolutely zero. We got
nothing.
Man. We got nothing.
Man. And the next question is, because you're a big college football guy, right?
Yep.
What I've never watched college football in my life. The only interaction I've ever had with it is seeing the videos on YouTube of like a million people in a stadium singing Metallica songs, and it looks absolutely incredible. Because it starts this weekend. Is it this weekend or next weekend?
So KU, we played last week. We played week 0, so we got an early start. But yeah, we have a game tonight as well. But yeah, the first week one's this week, so you got to pick your squad.
Who have you guys got tonight, and are they going to win?
We play Wagner. They're like a Division 3 team, so it's not going to be a big game.
If KU were an international cricket team, what team would they be?
Probably Afghanistan. Lost for many years and now making its way right now, because we were horrible. Nice. I mean, I used to work for the team, and I worked for the team for 6 years. And I won a total of 4 games out of 40 we played. So yeah, it was a horrible time.
Oh wow! And which college team would be Sri Lanka?
Oh God, probably Florida. I mean, we were good back in the day, and we're just have the right people, but don't really make of anything right now.
It's not working. Anyway, Muditha, thank you for joining us. I'm going to let you go, but if you can just hang about a minute while your video uploads. I'll bring Pavven on because he's joining us from
oh my God,
Melbourne.
What time is it?
It's like 2:30, but it's fine. Like it's Saturday, so it's all good. I don't have work, so it's all good. Yeah.
Oh, it's all good. How are you, Pavven? How do you enjoy the game today, or not enjoy the game, or?
It was honestly really frustrating. I really thought like Zimbabwe will win, but I think the last 2 overs by Asita and Madhushankar really good, but still it's like really frustrating, to be honest, seeing how how Sri Lanka are playing at the moment. Like the batting is like, especially the middle order is like really huge worries in my opinion. And then the fifth bowler is also a huge question mark. But I hope like Hasaranga is going to be fit for the Asia Cup. But if he's not, I think probably we should bring in a Jeffrey Van der Sar into the team, because we just need the second spinner in my opinion. Or we can obviously play Dunit Velala at 7 also, but still I would still have that leg spinner in my squad still. But when it comes to opening wise, I think why can't we just go back with Nuwanidu Fernando, in my opinion, because he played 2 years ago, in my opinion. He played against India, if I'm not mistaken. In India, if I'm not mistaken, he opened the innings. And in my opinion, if Nishan Madushka is injured or whatever after the match, or if he's not in good form, I think why not going for Nuwanidu? Because he can adapt. He can bat at number 4. He can adapt to open as well. Like he was an opener when he first came into the domestic setup, and he's batting at number 4, because we have that problem of the number 4 situation in Sri Lanka cricket.
And he opened against India, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yes, he did open 2 years back or 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. So I think Nuwanidu can be a good fit, or else Kamil Mishra also could be another good option, in my opinion, as an opener. Those two. But I would still go with Nuwanidu, because he has played more ODIs and he seems to be the more experienced. Or else we can go with Kusan Mendes, but I wouldn't want to like bother his spot right now, because he's playing
really well, right? Like that's
playing really well.
Just something I wanted to bring up here. So this is Char's comments after the game. He praised their death bowling, which I think rightly deserves praise. But they asked him if they missed the 5th bowler, and what he said was, "No, not really. That's the lineup we're looking at going forward. When we look at another all-rounder, sometimes we have a lack of batting. We want 7 batters and 3 all-rounders. But the thing is, the all-rounders have to bowl well." There's your answer to, are they going to change for the next match?
I'm interested to see what happens, because sometimes I feel like Lanka is, especially in a game like today, when you are filled with the enthusiasm of winning, and then you step on, you have to do the press conference straight afterwards. It's not even a regular press conference, right? You're standing on the pitch and someone's asking you questions. Well, you can't be slagging off your own team selection then, or your teammates at that moment. I wonder how they see it when they wake up tomorrow morning. Basically, they haven't got much time to change things up, right? If there's they've effectively just got tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Is it Sunday?
Yeah, it's only one day between the matches. So.
Yeah. So, also, I think the Lahindu's put in a funny comment. Charitamath's Sanath's words. I think that's that is probably correct.
I think that's correct. Yeah.
I want to talk. We've got Pavven on. I want to talk a little bit about the T20 squad, because I know, Pavven, you're very excited about young Halambage. Can you tell us a little bit about him and what you're expecting, and whether or not you think he's gonna, if he gets the chance in the side? This is Sri Lanka cricket, so who knows, right? What that 11 could be. If he gets a chance, do you think he'll score big quick?
I don't expect him to perform immediately. Like, it depends on the scenario as well. Like, I feel like he could be the perfect number 4, but there's Pavan Ratnaik as well, who's been also performing in domestic as well. But Vishen Halambage is a really good talent. Seeing how he performed in the SLC 2020 league as well, I was really happy to see, especially his strike rate. I think he scored 56 of 32, if I'm not mistaken, in one match. I think he definitely has, but the difference between domestic and international cricket is going to be huge, and it's going to take him some time to adapt or whatever. But I feel like he has that potential in him, but it's going to take some time, and especially with the Asia Cup coming up, and that's why he wasn't considered for the Asia Cup. So, but definitely the Zimbabwe series could be a startup for him, and potentially he can fight for the 2020 World Cup spot if he plays well in the upcoming, like with the Zimbabwe series, the Island series, and we're not even sure about Kusal Pereira's fitness as well. So I'm not really sure Kusal Pereira could be in that squad or not. So if in any case, like if he is ruled out, and so there could be an open spot for either Pavan Ratnaik or Vishen Halambage in that Asia Cup squad. So I just think he just needs to prove himself in the Zimbabwe squad. Just take one match at a time, I feel. He's a really good talent. I've seen how he's been performing even in school cricket, and even when it comes to domestic cricket, he's been performing. So yeah, I just hope that he performs well for international cricket. But we cannot expect too much from him all of a sudden. But we just need to be a bit patient with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I think your point about KJP was interesting, because I think that's kind of his long-term position, is that number 3 position, a kind of, and obviously he's right-handed, but playing that similar to KJP role where he plays this sort of aggressive thing. And I think the other interesting thing about the Asia Cup squad is we have Nuwanidu and Kamil Mishara also there. 2 exclusions I want to point out. One is Viaskanth, and they chose Dushan Hemantha. And then the other big exclusion for me is Dilshan Madhushanka. In terms of talent, we saw his talent. I mean, I thought he bowled very well he got good swing early on. He didn't get any wickets from it. There were a couple times that there were edges that went past the stumps and things like that. But he's a super talented player. And one area that we need is that new ball bowling. We need someone to come in and do that. And another thing that he provides is he is a special bowler who can bowl in all phases. We saw that with some brilliant death bowling today. And so I wonder if he performs really well, whether that'll bring about a change. I wonder if seeing how the seamers played will bring any different ideas about what the team formation looks like.
Yeah. I also want to point out, like, also with Matisha Pathirana, I was not really happy with this selection. I know he's been performing well for IPL and all that, but he's not been consistent with Sri Lanka cricket. I feel like Asitha Fernando could have been in the squad, in my opinion, with the way that he performed, even with Asia Cup 2022, even with the bat, he was handy at times in that match against Bangladesh as well. And he has been performing well, even because he has been performing in all 3 formats properly. Especially we saw today was how he's been performing in ODIs. He was in the county cricket performing in test as well before coming to Zimbabwe for the tour. So I think his passion, his determination, his grit, I think that will help the Sri Lankan squad for this upcoming Asia Cup. So I feel his exclusion was a huge big point in my opinion. And even Ishan Malinga, I think even if he didn't perform in the domestic cricket, he performed in the IPL, and that really mattered. I mean, he still picked up wickets or whatever, and he performed even for Sri Lanka when he had that opportunity. So I do not understand, just because of one domestic tournament you just exclude Ishan Malinga out of the plans. So I really do not get.
And he was never really given a chance in T20 cricket.
My bigger what I've got, the worry is that we've got such, we every time we talk about how much depth we've got in our bowling, in our seam attack at the moment, right? We've never had this, never. And I wonder if it's almost because we've never had it, we don't really understand how to handle it and what to do to get the best out of it. I don't know. I like to think that it's easy for us to come on and be critical of the Brains Trust or the think tank and the people who run Sri Lanka cricket. I don't have to do it. We don't have to do it. I hope that they have ideas and they have a plan and they're kind of figured out how to get the best out of people, right? When you look at the way Asitha Fernando's come on as a kind of almost an all-format player now, right? They've really got the best out of him. Ishan Malinga, Pathirana, even someone like Nuwanidu, I don't think we have seen the best of them in Sri Lankan kit at the moment. And may I just add, I know there's a couple of comments about it, that new kit looks unbelievable. It's incredible, right? And hopefully at some point we'll be able to get the best out of them. I think we're in a unusual point, right? Because we're heading into an Asia Cup, and I can't think of any of our, apart from Hasaranga, any of our bowlers who are injured at the moment. Hasaranga, should be available in 10 days' time.
Don't. You're.
No, I know. Let's hope for the best. Pavven, while you're here, before we let you go, do you want to talk to us a little bit about the sports breakdown, what you guys do? So I know you got plans for a new channel. You've had some exciting guests on recently, and you got some exciting ones coming up.
Yeah, just planning to have a new cricket YouTube channel, to be honest, because I think because I do like sports exclusive, like for cricket, football, Formula One, and a bit of basketball, but mainly on cricket and football. But really had problems with that channel of trying to get monetized. So we had that channel been monetized, but unfortunately we use reuse content, and then the monetization stopped. So I'm planning to start a new YouTube channel just based on cricket, because I just think like cricket is my passion, and I play cricket professionally as well in Australia. So I just think like I just need to focus only on cricket. I was thinking of that the whole 4 years since I was doing the sports breakdown, but right now I think it's the right time, especially as I'm graduating from uni as well. I think it's the right time now for me to just focus only on cricket mainly, but I still have my other channel, but less on that and more on cricket is my.
What cricket team are you playing for in Victoria, Pavven?
I just play for my cricket club. So I play for like a uni cricket club. So I play for Deakin. So that's the uni I go to. So I just play for that cricket club. Yeah. So yeah, I've been going for training. So there's preseason going on right now, and cricket season starts in October. So it's exciting. But right now, preseason, I'm really tired after yesterday's sessions as well, and I want to play turf cricket, but at the moment we've been playing synthetic turf. So hopefully I've been getting offers from other like clubs as well, so I'm just juggling to see where I am at, either in turf cricket or either play in synthetic. Yeah, for now. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good man. Right, Pavven, we're gonna let you go. We've got Anjana's backstage. We'll let you go. If you can hang about for a minute though backstage, just we can load your video. And Anjana, thank you for joining us today. Whereabouts are you calling from, bro?
Hello, guys.
Hey.
I'm in London. Hey.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, joining from London. Yeah. Just. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you. Your video's frozen. Oh no, you're not. You're defrosted. Whereabouts in London are you from? You know, obviously that's where I'm from as well.
Oh yeah, I recently moved to just outside London. I live close to Epping Forest now.
Oh, lovely.
It's north of London. Yeah, it's north of London. So we moved recently. I was in North London before, but we moved to Epping.
Stay safe around Epping, because I know there's been a lot going on around there. No, we don't need to talk about on this show. That this is not the time and place for it. But
it's not the place to talk about it. Hey, yeah.
Anyway, what would you like to say about the game today?
Yeah, I think it was a good game, but I have a feeling that the team balance was not 100% correct. I missed the discussion, the full discussions you guys had. Probably you guys already touched on that, but I think the team balance is not correct for me. Just we are ball short, I believe, especially when you're playing outside Sri Lanka, where the spinners are not getting anything from the pitch. I think that's why we struggle to get wickets in the middle pace. Even Tikshana was trying to contain runs rather than trying to get wickets. So probably having that leg spin option maybe the right way to go. But I definitely think we need one more all rounder at least, a bowling all rounder, not a batting all rounder, to bat at number 7 and to bowl. But I think overall it was an okay game. Good game for us. Good.
I definitely agree with the balance felt off, right? I just kind of think you can't go into, we've got some serious cricket coming up in the Asia Cup and the World Cup. And obviously those are different formats, but you just cannot go into a game being a bowler short like the way I thought we were away today. It sounds from Charatha Lanka's comments after the game that's what they are going for. I mean, I in my opinion of the way I think cricket works, I think part-timers like Charath and Kamindu and even Jonathan Lianagay get wickets because what happens is all the other bowlers put so much pressure on them, the batters know this is the point of releasing. The problem is, though, you go in and to an ODI game like today and the batters are looking at at the opposition team and they're going, we're going to get 10 overs at least, where it's going to be quite relaxed and chill for us, and that's when we can score runs. And that's what happened today. Yeah,
I think we had Milane Ratnayaka playing before, even in Sri Lanka. I think I thought that was a better option compared to the options we have now. But again, Kamindu played well, Janis played well. So not too sure who can he replace actually. But so I think. I felt like having that one extra bowler would have been helpful.
I think if for me, the way to fix it for Sunday could be if Nuwanidu's injured, he drops out at the top of the order, and then everyone just comes up one, and then slot Milane in, and then you got your 5 out and out bowlers. If one of them's having a bad day, every time.
Don't forget, Nuwanidu can bowl. He's got he. No, I'm being serious. He has bowled in matches before, in domestic matches. I think he's an off spinner.
Yeah, he's an off spinner. I think I saw him bowl in Australia as well in one of the emerging games or Sri Lankan A games.
He's taken 21 wickets in List A cricket in 72 matches. So there's another, and he averages 29.
Yeah. Anjana, before we let you go and wrap this show up for today, just what your expectations of Sri Lanka? I won't say for the World Cup, but I'll say for the Asia Cup, because that is now we're 2 weeks away from that. So
I was just watching the Pakistan Afghanistan game just before I joined you guys. The Pakistan is they're playing a completely different ball game now compared to what they were doing 2 months ago or 3 months ago after the new coach joined, and even the Afghans were really competitive, like from what I've seen so far. So I think for the Asia Cup, we are in a really tough group, I believe, with Afghanistan, Bangladesh. So it's hard to predict. There are a couple of, I guess, the couple of places in the playing 11 we need to sort out as well, and they're trying with Nuwanidu and trying with Kamil Bishara. I'm hoping they'll give them like opportunities during the T20 leg of this series. Hopefully, they don't want to go to the Asia Cup without that. But I guess the Zimbabwe pitches are completely different to what our guys are going to see in UAE. So I'm hopeful, but it's T20. You never know, so it can go either way.
Yeah, I think what we saw today is actually our guys like a little bit of pressure when you're like 30 overs in against Zimbabwe. They've got a big load of runs to defend. They seem to be quite relaxed. When the pressure got turned on those last few overs, those guys remembered that what they were doing. They were playing for the great Sri Lanka cricket international.
The death bowling team was great. Was excellent.
And that gives me hope.
But I guess against a slightly better opposition, I don't think they'll drag the game till last over. They're going to pitch to the same.
Oh yeah.
They were going to attack like at least Janet Lieneg's over, because he bowled like 3 overs for like 20 or 19 runs.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get away bowling like that in with the better opposition. So, but let's see.
Anjana, thank you for joining us today. I'm going to let you go. If you can just hang about while the video uploads, though, that'd be wicked. Dom, we're going to wrap this up today. We'll be back on Sunday, though. I've got a clash. I think Liverpool play Arsenal almost exactly as the game ends. And I'm meant to be going to Carragher's bar in New York to watch that game. So I might have to go find a corner and I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll talk about it. It could be Dom will be back. Estelle could be here. Nick could be here. I'm going to try and make it. I think, Dom, let's have a final word on this. It's been a great day for Sri Lanka cricket, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, a win is a win, and let's hope they just build from here. And my hope is that Dilshan Madhushanka gets some confidence and regains that World Cup form. Yeah,
and we've got players to come into the team. It's the road to the World Cup, right?
The road to the World Cup.
We're winning cricket games in dramatic fashion. That's what Sri Lanka cricket do, right?
Yep, that's what we do.
Guys, we're going to leave it there. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe. Tell all your friends about us. We're the Murali End. We talk about Sri Lanka cricket a lot. So we're going to be back after every game of the Zimbabwe series, then the Asia Cup, then the Women's World Cup, all the cricket that's coming up. We'll be back again soon. Thanks for joining us, and go visit kidrated.com.